That's actually probably good.
Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Here we are, casual edition. 1.2.
As you can tell, we're wearing the same clothes, except we got more comfy. This
Pretty
is
much
because
so.
we're recording on the same night, but this is going to be episode 2. So welcome.
Welcome.
We just ate dinner, and so now we're starting episode 2, and we're going to have a little bit of a different flavor to this. But let's start out the podcast
Flavor.
by actually introducing ourselves, because
Oh yeah, I
we
forgot.
need to get in the habit of doing this.
I forget. People don't know who we are.
Yes.
I don't know who we are technically, but like I'm.
So
I do
welcome
have a
back
name.
to Let's Do Something Stupid. My name is Sarah.
Yes, it is. My name's Jimmy, and we're gonna do something stupid.
Like
Right now,
this podcast.
Like this podcast, we literally have no idea what we're doing right now. It's perfect.
Okay.
It's funny because where do you think we're going with this?
I don't know, but I know that you have some questions that you're
I
gonna
did.
make me try to answer.
I did. I
of
brought
some
this
kind.
because I knew we were supposed to make an outline and we didn't make any outline, and it's a holiday. We thought we were gonna have a plan, but since we didn't have a plan, I just made a variety of questions. I'm not very proud of these questions, so I don't really know how they're gonna go. Because turns out it's actually harder to think of questions like in advance than you think. I don't know. So if you'd like to just start us off like
I just pick a
style.
random one.
Wild style. I wish I had like a fun little hat for you to
Okay.
pick from, but I don't. So
Let me just pick one out of your fingers.
you can pick a thick one, a thin one.
Okay.
They're all made out of paper though, so you know.
Are you asking the question,
Well, I don't know.
or am I asking the question?
Ooh, that's a good question. Shit, I hadn't thought that far ahead. I mean, technically, I wrote the question down, so therefore, I kind of thought I was asking a question. But then
Oh my
since you
God.
picked it out, it is a fair question.
This
to
is
ask
a
whether-
great question, though.
Is it okay? Would you like to answer it? Because that would solve the previous question about who's answering the question.
How about I read it, you answer it first, and then I'll answer it.
Oh, pressure. Damn. Okay.
Okay.
I set myself up for this, so I guess I gotta
Yes.
go with it.
So the question is, if you had to leave for good in an
Oh,
hour, what would you take with you, and where would you go?
okay, yes. I did ask this question. After, like, just for reference, crush reading a nice, fun apocalypse story yesterday.
Ah, yes.
So, a little bit of influence there. So definitely, obviously I'm pretty ready to go. The van's pretty set already. So obviously we're taking the van because the van's pretty much got everything in it.
Okay,
But-
give the people some context. What is the van?
Oh, yeah. People don't know who we are. I don't know who that exactly. Well, so we have been building a very fun camper van / escape van / I don't know, house on wheels that is currently parked in my driveway. And, if it was a real emergency, we could probably just get in there and leave. But we'd be missing like socks and underwear. So that'd suck. We'd be missing, a big supply of food. I don't know. We'd be missing the niceties of life. But it is kind of ready to go. We could just crush it and just, oh my God, zombies are coming, bail out. But I think I would want to, if I had an hour, if I had 1 hour, obviously I'm going to get a good backpack. And I'm going to make sure I have warm clothes, socks, underwear, good pairs of pants, sweatshirts. Gotta have sweatshirts. All the clothing.
like a wardrobe.
A wardrobe, exactly. And a couple, some shoes, some skateboard shoes, some regular hiking shoes, all that kind of stuff, some boots. And then, obviously, that's going to be really quick because I'm just not that fashionable. We're just going to make sure you have stuff. Then you're going to get the important stuff, like food, lots of it, all the food you can throw in the van. And then you're going to get the toys, obviously. Bicycles. 100% gotta have bicycles. Bicycles of, 1 or 2 varieties at least. And then, obviously, skateboards. If I had time to load a dirt bike on the front, which on the rack that does not exist yet, but if I had the rack, I'd put the dirt bike
Okay.
on it. Yeah, we're taking up more than an hour already. I've already blown it. That's an hour right there. We gotta leave.
Where are you going with all of this stuff? Like, you're going
Off into the sunset.
clearly you're going like off grid.
Yeah.
Because my immediate thought was like, I'm not packing clothes.
Oh.
Because
What are you packing?
if I'm leaving for good,
You don't even need clothes.
then yeah, wherever I'm going, I can get clothes. You
Is
know what I
that
mean?
true? Is that have you ever been stuck anywhere without clothes before?
Okay, but that's the
I
thing.
have.
If I had the choice, because I think the question was like, if you were leaving in an hour,
Mm-hmm.
what would you take with, like, if you were leaving for good
For good in an hour.
in an hour?
Yeah. Okay. This is different. This is okay.
It's like, so if I'm leaving for good and I get to choose where I'm going,
That's not a for
that's
sure.
very different than being like, if you need to survive in the wilderness
Yeah,
with literally nothing but the shit that you have with you. I feel
was
like that's
definitely
completely different.
I was definitely in survival mode there, right there for sure.
I think so.
But like, still, I kind of want the same stuff. I'm trying to think like, okay, if you're leaving for good, what are the things that your mind go to? Is it like photo albums?
Yeah, for me, it's like
Yeah.
memorabilia.
Yeah,
Like the things that
Star Wars collection, you know.
it's the things that like I can't replace.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if we're starving?
See, where I choose to go, I'm not starving.
Yeah, and where you choose to go, they just got boutiques of free clothes.
Yep, 100%.
Walk right in and get everything you want.
Yep.
Back to the question: have you ever accidentally got somewhere and not had the clothes you're supposed to have?
Yeah.
That sucks. It's not good.
No, it does suck. I've never like traveled very far on like, you know, something that like I should have packed or whatever. It's always like I'm either overdressed or it's more times it's I'm severely underdressed for the weather.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me more often than
Can you
anything.
give me a good example of that? Because
Yeah,
it's kind of
one
funny.
time-
You just don't bring a coat sometime.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one time, and I know that my friends will give me shit about this too, because I mean, you guys know who you are. We would go hiking all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and this one particular time we went hiking.
Where are we hiking? We in
I
Washington here?
do not. Yeah, in Washington.
okay.
I don't.
Which gets cold quick when it
And I
does.
don't remember what trail we were on, but it was in September, which is like a risky time
Risky, but risky
to go
business, man.
hiking. You know.
Totally. Yeah.
Because that's like it's nearing the fall. It's nearing the fall, and
September is the month that could turn into winter in
it
10
could,
minutes.
yeah. And so we went on this hike, and like to be fair to myself, like my friends didn't give me any warning about like how I should dress, and I was not like a crazy hiker at the time, so I
They
was not.
expected you were just a solid
I was not-
outdoorsy Colorado girl.
Yeah, I was not solidly experienced in Washington hiking at the time, so I was not prepared
Damn.
for what was happening.
Sure.
So we get to the trailhead and everything, and we get out of the car,
Are you
like
cold already?
we're ready to go, and they just like look at me and they're like, "Sarah, did you bring a coat?" And I'm like, "No, this is all I got, man. I'm in yoga pants and a sweater, and that's
Very
it."
fashionable. I'm sure it looked great. It's a nice outfit, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
and like this is
Boots?
before
What
I
are we
even
wearing for boots?
no.
Are you Vans?
This was before I even owned hiking boots.
Oh, so you're Vansing it right now.
I must have been wearing Vans.
Oh,
yeah,
buddy.
I don't
Slip-ons,
remember.
tie-ups? Come on.
Tie-ups.
At least
for
you got
sure.
some
At
tie-ups.
least I got tie-ups, so I'm not that stupid.
Nice.
But no, we go on this hike, and it, like, you know, the beginning was fine,
There's
but
a lot of
the
uphill.
higher that we
Oh,
climbed,
yep.
the colder that it got.
That is how it works. technically.
And if we got to this lake, and it's beautiful. I don't even remember the name of the lake or anything, but
Is it crystal blue?
no, it was like green.
Yeah. Is it like ice
Is the
cold
water
looking? Yeah,
crystal
it's the
blue?
water. Crystal blue is
No.
No. Okay, so that's good.
No,
You're not
it
up
wasn't.
that high then.
No, we're not. No.
Okay.
But
you didn't
like,
go to Snow Lakes on accident without a coat.
dude, I don't even remember. I
Okay.
should have asked him what trail we were on, because I bet you would laugh
We'll
at
do a follow up on
I
that.
bet you would laugh at me. But no, we get there and it's like beautiful, and like I have videos of it. You might even be able to tell what trail we're on by the videos that I took, maybe.
Yeah, what's it do?
But-
That's one of those GeoGuessr. Let's play the game.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm.
Ooh. But we get there and we're like, you know, I have videos of it. It's beautiful. And I'm freezing my ass off so badly. And my dear friend Ryan was like so sweet to me. Like he gave me a vest at the beginning of the trail. And he's like, this will at least help you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like one of those puffer
Can I do a little
vests.
side note just on this? Do you remember the first time you came on the boat with me to that island?
Yes.
What-
Yes, I do.
What were you wearing for that?
I was wearing
adventure?
shorts.
Very nice shorts. Yes.
and
else did
a
you have?
t-shirt.
Ah, yes, a T-shirt.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know about weather.
Yeah.
I'm always underdressed.
Yeah.
Something about me is that I'm always
For
underdressed.
reference, this is like
But
May.
but let me finish my story. That was not May. That
Okay,
was
it's June.
It was June.
Okay, it was June. It was June. June is still questionable. June,
No, I
much
know.
like September,
I
questionable.
know. I know.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
But anyway, back in September when we're hiking, we get to the place and it's beautiful and I'm freezing my ass off and I take videos, we take a group picture, we take
You do some
pictures,
jumping jacks.
and then I'm like, okay, I'm leaving, guys. I will see you back at the car because I was actually afraid like that I was so cold. I think that like my body was about to go into shock or
For real,
something
dude.
because I was so cold.
Damn.
So I'm like, in order to warm my body up,
then you're walking downhill
I'm-
also.
in order for me to warm my body temperature up, I'm going to run back to the car.
Solid, weird
Run.
plan. Yes.
Run.
Mhm.
So I did just that.
Damn.
I like, got all ready and everything and I put all my shit in my backpack and I ran down the hill back to the car.
Did you bring the keys to the car?
No. No, so I got all the way back to the car.
No.
But
Now
luckily
you're sweaty and cold.
But luckily, back down the parking lot wasn't nearly as cold as it was on top of the mountain.
Sure, sure.
And I didn't have to wait that long for them to catch up to me.
Because
at
they
all.
jogged, because they felt
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
that's classic.
that happened like several more times, like going on. Like, as I remember when we did mailbox.
Oh my God. You got to bring a coat on that one.
Oh,
Come on.
I definitely didn't.
Are you kidding
I
me?
did not bring a
Do people,
coat
like,
at mailbox.
actually die on that hike without coats? You do that on September 22nd and it fucking snows and you're lost
I
and
know.
a fucking cougar eats you.
Yeah, no. Not only did I not bring a coat that time, but the shoes that I was wearing was not the right. I was wearing my Vans. Go fucking figure. Before I didn't buy hiking boots.
How old are you now?
30.
What did you decide about Vans when you're 30?
My back hurts.
Yeah.
But okay, just I did not buy
Vans lovers.
hiking boots until I visited Arches for the first time.
Okay.
Because for some fucking reason I was like, this is the hike that I need hiking boots at, which is true.
It is true.
But maybe I should have thought of that doing all of the hikes in Washington as well.
The problem is when you have friends in Seattle, they go on casual hikes. And when you're going to Arches, you're like, I'm going to Arches. I'm going to a national park. I'm going way the hell out there, right? But when you're in Seattle and you're going for a day hike, it's like you think you're like going to the park, but like literally there's gnarly shit like right there. Mailbox Peak is like 20 fucking miles from here, and all of a sudden you're doing this.
Oh,
like,
I know.
You're like,
So
you think you're on a picnic and you're on a fucking hike.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it's
Okay,
cold here.
so on the same vein as like hiking and
Mhm.
shit. Okay. Those of you who know, I'm from a small town called Grand Junction, Colorado.
Which
and
for
it's
those of
on-
us not from Colorado, sounds like it's in Colorado, and that would involve some hiking. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Okay, so like about a couple of months before I decided to move to Seattle, I was like, there's this one hike that I want to do to like kind of check off my Junction bucket list.
Yeah, you gotta crush that local shit.
So I hiked Mount Garfield, or the Book Cliffs, which is known locally, is what it's called.
Cool
And
name.
it's a super, like, you can see it from I-70 when you're driving up to Denver or driving through Junction, and it is like a big, really, really steep cliff that just kind of like,
Looks like books.
yeah, I mean, that's how it got its name,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously. But it's notoriously like a very steep
I
hike.
say, is it a mountain climb? Is it a climb?
No, I wouldn't say
Still
it's
a
like
hike?
a climb, but it's very,
Are there climbing routes up one side and a walking way the other way?
I don't know. It's literally been so long
Yeah.
since I did that hike. But
Boots or no boots at this point?
the point of the story
Mm-hmm.
is that I did the hike, whatever, and it was fine. But on the way down, because it was so steep coming down,
Yeah.
I fucked up my big toe so badly
Oh,
that the
yeah.
my toenail came off.
Fuck.
It was so gnarly.
Oh, that's the worst.
and
That's the worst.
because I'm just scooting,
You're just jamming your toe into your shoe the whole way.
Ooh, and I was wearing the worst shoes at the time because I for sure did not own hiking boots. I don't even think I was wearing Vans at the time. I was definitely wearing like Converse,
Mm. Buddy.
which is like
Yeah.
worse than Vans.
Yeah. You're barefoot. Converse
Yeah.
is barefoot. It's
Yeah,
basically
I
barefoot.
definitely was not wearing anything too crazy. But so then, I don't know if you've ever lost a toenail. I
Oh.
don't think you like truly know how long it takes to gain another one.
It's like a year.
It takes
It's like a long
years.
time. Yeah, years.
Years.
Multiple.
For it to come back at like normally.
Were you embarrassed about your feet for the next 2 years?
Oh, obviously. Yeah.
No more sandals. Just like fuck that shit.
Yeah, I mean I never wore sandals anyway, but no. But
from,
years.
from Colorado,
but
never wore sandals. Amazing.
yeah, no. I don't like people looking at my feet.
Uh,
But
it's such a Tiva culture out there,
but
though.
fast forward more to when I was living in Washington, did mailbox. And then
Minus a coat and shoes.
yeah, so we took the new trail up, old trail down. And so old trail down, you're going through like the old I'm pretty sure I'm saying that in the right order. I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't really matter. Which one was worse?
Coming back down.
Mhm.
Well, I mean actually they were both so bad for different reasons. Like so bad for different reasons. Going up was so bad because I had the worst hip pain the entire way up.
Back
and
up
like-
questions. Did you bring snacks?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
You brought snacks and water.
Water, snacks,
Okay,
water,
well,
blah
that's
blah
good.
blah.
That's good.
Yeah.
See,
whatever.
those are the things I would not have brought.
Yeah.
I'd
and
have shoes.
I was
but-
wearing my Vans.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so
Wait a minute. Was this before you had lost a toe in Colorado or after?
after
So you think you would have learned your
You
toe lesson
think
on that? No.
you would think
No, huh?
Sarah's not too bright.
But at what point
At
of
this
healing
point.
was toenail? Was it all? Did you heal that toenail?
Yeah,
then
it was
fuck it up
it was
again?
healed. So we take Old Trail down from Mailbox, and it's like super duper steep coming down, and we're trying to like walk as fast as we can because we're trying to keep up with the super fast hikers in the group, and they're like so far ahead of us. We're just like whatever. We're trying to keep up. But I'm like trying to run down the mountain just because I wanted it to get it over with at this point. Because if
Right.
you've done Mailbox before, you know. Like to this time, I'm not a crazy hiker at all, but that is the hardest hike I've ever done in my years.
It's not. It's a fitness game.
It's
Like,
hard.
Yeah, if you really care about being fitness, and you gotta. I hate to say it, it's such a bucket list. Everybody fucking feels like they have to do
I
it.
mean, it's cool. It's a cool hike.
It's a cool hike. If
It's
you could like
beautiful.
jump off of like paraglider from the top, or a mountain bike to go down it, or a snowboard to go down it, and then I wouldn't mind hiking up it. But the fucking shitty part is hiking back down. Like you walk
Yeah.
there, and then guess what? You have a fucking Triscuit or some shit, and you're like, all right, this is fucking great.
Yeah,
You
I
take
took.
your picture, you do your little graffiti, and then you gotta go back.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put something in the mailbox. That's the whole point.
Yeah, no, but you put something in the mailbox,
Anyway,
and then there you
When
go.
we're coming down,
Mhm.
yeah, I fucked
Wait,
up.
what'd you put in the mailbox?
Long story short, what did I put in the mailbox?
A little note,
I
a
don't-
letter,
I think a note
a fancy rock,
or part of my snack.
part of your
I
snack.
don't remember.
Don't give up on part of your snack. You might
Dude, I was
that's
so
survival
delirious
shit.
by the time we got to the top. I was like, I was the one who was like,
You weren't enjoying the ceremony at this
struggling.
point.
I was the one who was struggling to the top because I was in so much pain. And like,
Oh.
even my friends were like, we should turn back. And I'm like,
Oh no.
no, dude, I will finish this hike.
Wait, were your friends like we should turn back because they're looking at you and going like, you look like you're in pain?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Once
Which,
again, Sarah, no code.
Hindsight. Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
But coming down the mountain, yeah, I fucked up my toenail again.
Ah,
It didn't fall off or anything, but it was purple
I
for
can't believe it didn't fall
weeks
off.
afterwards.
It makes purple without falling off. That's
Oh
actually
my god, my
crazy.
feet hurt so badly after that hike. But I haven't done anything too crazy like hike wise since then. But
And you
I
have
just
boots
think
now though.
but I think it's just so funny that I didn't decide to buy hiking boots until I went back to Colorado. And like I grew up, if you know anywhere in relation to like where Grand Junction it is western slope of Colorado, literally 15 minutes from the Utah border. I was so close to Arches National Park.
Yeah.
And I didn't even visit Arches National Park until I lived in Seattle and I went back to visit. So after living in Washington for 6 years, I was just like,
You
I'm gonna
finally
go
saw,
back.
You saw the beauty of Colorado.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I
and
was
you,
just like,
and also you're coming from Seattle. You're going. I'm going to Colorado. I better buy hiking boots.
I better buy hiking boots.
Because they hike in Colorado.
Well, it was Utah. That's the
Utah.
funny
Well,
part
they
about
hike
it.
even more in Utah.
I was just
They
like,
hike in the fucking desert in Utah. It's all terrible. It's like
yeah.
beautiful, but I'm also like, man, I don't know.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the
I feel like I'm gonna die.
I think it's the desert where I'm just like my foot is going to get caught in the crevice of like a rock.
You're gonna have to be that guy who cuts his arm off.
Literally. I
Yeah.
think maybe like
gonna
that
get
scarred me
gnarly.
or something.
Did you
where
watch
I'm like,
that movie?
yeah.
Oh, why? Did you watch that movie like right before you went with the hike?
What is it called? Like 127 hours or
I
something
don't
like
know.
that?
I don't even
oh,
watch that
fuck, I don't
shit.
even remember.
No way I was watching that. I'm like, yeah, let me watch this torturous movie of a story that
But I was
I
like-
already know.
Yeah, it was just funny to me that like that was the thing that made me actually get hiking boots. And I remember texting my friend too because she was like a super hiker, and I'm like, do you have any recommendations on what boots I should get? And she's just like, girl, how many hikes have we gone on together where you're hiking in your Vans and you're just now getting hiking
She
boots?
literally called you out on this?
Of course she did.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
But
that's so
no,
funny.
shut up.
So post Arches, what was the next actual? Did you go for a hike in Washington in your boots?
Oh yeah, I've done a couple hikes in Washington with my boots.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, it makes a world of difference.
World of difference.
Of course
So
it
basically,
does.
boot sponsor.
Insert here.
There we go. Big money.
Dude, can you imagine if we got sponsored by like REI or some shit?
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
REI.
REI.
Hey,
Yeah. Hey, I love you. You know,
I love
lifelong user of your stupid stuff. Friends work there. They have jobs. Oh yeah.
you. need to hold the mic up
Okay.
closer to your
I
mouth.
gotta readjust. Let me take a break to readjust here.
Okay.
That was a great story though, and I do have to say, it's very funny that you waited that long to get boots. But now you have boots. So actually,
I could go literally anywhere with my boots now.
but it's also the coat thing. It's the coat thing. I mean, you know, like as
I'm
you
always
mentioned,
just-
as you mentioned in the intro, Sarah and I have only known each other for, just over a year. And one of the first fun things we did was go on a little boat trip in the springtime, early springtime in Washington and Seattle, which, I'm going to say is generally, this is not Florida.
it was June.
It was June. June is still coat season.
Yeah, I know June is still
June
coat
is still
season in
coat season.
Seattle.
It's definitely coat season.
It's not
In a
officially.
motorboat that goes across the water that may or may not make it back.
It is not officially summertime in Seattle until the 4th of July.
It's not. No way. 2
In
weeks
my
after.
opinion. In my opinion, the 4th of July marks the beginning of summer in
That's
Seattle.
a nice delusion to have.
No,
But like
because
as a
that
lifelong Washington person, like it usually rains on 4th of July.
dude, did it rain on the 1st of July this year?
No, this year was nice. Global warming's real. It's awesome. like, but my coat wearing like over. Let's go back to the beginning of the story. What did like this is a good full circle.
Okay,
because
you don't even know. Let me tell you about my
all the
day
things
that
I
day.
said I was gonna take were
Let me
coats.
tell you about my day that day though.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Which
you
day?
I don't even think we've talked about this before.
Oh no.
Oh, this is fun. Okay. So that day, I remember very clearly because I had a mega crush on you.
Well, I did too.
I did.
Yeah.
But let me go back to this day
Yes, let's hear
because
it.
I was fresh out of a very long relationship
I know.
and I had just moved into my new apartment.
Very
And
cute.
that day, I had booked
Oh.
a hair appointment.
Oh, you had a hair appointment
I
that day?
cut my hair that day.
Oh my
and I
God.
remember being so stressed
Oh, I
about
remember
it.
that. You actually
because
told me that because you had to get your hair cut.
I was like stressed on
Which
time.
no offense is funny because made us go later, which you needed a coat even more for.
What?
We went later in the day than.
Oh, I know. Okay.
So it was definitely.
let me
coat time.
finish. Let me finish my story.
Hmm?
I had a hair appointment that day. I was gonna get my hair cut, and I was just like, "What's the point of me getting my hair cut and being all like nice and pretty if I'm gonna go get on a boat later?" Whatever. I was trying not to think too hard on it, but the hair appointment took longer than I thought it would,
I remember this.
and I was feeling stressed out about it because I had a plan that I was going to go home first before you picked me up for the boat thing.
Yep.
And I was going to like change and like actually get ready to go. But I was so
Oh.
crunched on time, and I knew that like you and Dina were waiting for me.
Oh.
So I came back home and I was already stressed about what to wear because I had never like hung out on a boat before. Ever. This was the first time I had ever really been on a boat.
It was a
like,
nice sunny day, but it wasn't particularly
exactly.
warm.
But in my brain, it's something about me is that I'm always just like, I always dress for comfort. And even if it's like in the middle of summertime, I have a really hard time like accepting the fact that I can like show skin. And that's always been like that's just something about me. It's something that I'm getting better at for sure. But on this particular day, I was like, I don't want to look so cute to where like it shows that like I'm trying too hard.
Oh.
Because
damn.
I liked
that
you.
was your in between.
And I was like, this is so weird.
Side note, hella cute. Come
I
on.
know. I mean, I look pretty cute that day.
Yeah.
But I was
But
panicking.
also, side note, obviously gonna be chilly.
I didn't know that.
I had extra coats.
I know you did.
Yes.
But like that day, I was so already stressed. I mean, you know that I change my outfit like 6 times every single morning before I go to work.
I love it.
And so I have a hard time just like deciding on what I'm gonna wear. Like I overthink what I'm gonna wear all the time anyway.
Man, I wish
But,
I could
like,
be a
this
fly on the
was,
wall and
like-
go back and see
This was like extra that.
Can you
And so-
describe like 3 outfits before? Like,
Oh, I don't know. Like I put on jeans at some point, and I was like, it's sunny. We're gonna be out on the water. I don't know how cold it's gonna be on the water.
yeah.
I will probably be
I'm
cold.
glad you had the shorts on.
I would probably be cold later, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I also didn't want to like bring a bunch of stuff with me because I knew that we were gonna be going on the boat, and I'm like, I don't know what's the appropriate amount of stuff to take with me. I was overthinking it a lot.
My gosh,
So I
that's
ended up
good.
just like wearing something that was super comfortable for me, and then I was just gonna figure the rest out later.
It was a very cute summery outfit.
Yes.
But I will be honest, the moment you got on the boat, I was like, damn, she gonna be cold.
When I got on the boat, I was totally fine like the whole time. The only time that I actually got cold is when we actually came back and we docked and like we were hanging out.
Yeah,
Because then I started to get cold.
yeah, then the sun went down.
But I wasn't anticipating hanging out for that long either.
Me either, but that sure was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that whole thing. But I am notorious for being underdressed,
Yep.
specifically when it comes to the weather.
Yep. But very fashionable and cute. Come on now.
I always dress for comfort
You-
above anything else.
Comfort and cuteness.
Comfort
Comfort.
and cuteness. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to feel cute.
Your comfort level is just cute, so it was cute. But damn, I was like right off the bat, I was like when you got to the boat, and I was like looking at your bag, your little purse bag, whatever, and I was like, damn, she does not even have a fucking sweatshirt. She does not have a coat. Like, and I'm like, okay, this better go good, because now we're already leaving later than we planned, and I'm like, we gotta go out to this island. That was the day we're gonna hide the treasure and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, we got a mission to do. We gotta go fucking drive to an island, dock the boat, go for a hike on the island, and fucking find a treasure hiding spot. That was no joke, man. That was a mission. That was awesome, though. It was fun.
That was fun.
You did great. I had an extra coat. We were fine.
Yeah.
But we've learned a lot of lessons about coats.
I feel like we might have to
Shoes.
like give more context to the hiding treasure.
Oh, hiding
story.
treasures? Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother story. So,
That's a huge.
well, okay,
whole other
let's
story.
okay.
Should we tell
you-
that story or save
Well,
it
yeah,
for a different
Let me,
time?
let me put a little 2 cents on that story. Because you already said, I believe you said you maybe had a crush on me right there.
Maybe.
Right. Okay. So, at this point, I definitely had what I would consider an inappropriate crush on you. One that I was trying to like stifle down in my mind and be like, oh, you can't like her. As said, you just got out of a relationship, blah, 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 blah. Topics for other podcasts here, for sure.
For sure.
Deep in the questions.
Yeah.
But what was my point? Oh, well, I totally had a crush on you. And I was like, oh my God, I really want my excuse, my crazy excuse for inviting you on the boat was to help me hide a treasure for our friend Cody's daughter, Bowie, who's my little buddy in 3rd grade, who's fucking awesome. And for some reason, because she's in 3rd grade, I thought me and Cody could pull one masked, like, funny, fool a little kid thing and make a pirate treasure. But it was definitely kind of a bit of a fun way to invite you out on a boat ride too. It was a good excuse.
Yes, of course.
Solid excuse.
And
I
I
would
feel
have
like
had to, I don't know what my other, had I not made that excuse up.
this is just really funny because like I don't know if we're gonna like make a theme around this. Maybe like we could honestly do an entire episode just based on how we started
Oh yeah.
dating
I think there might be a couple more than
and
one
just
episode, yeah.
everything like around that. But I feel like especially in the beginning, you like especially in the beginning, meaning like before we started dating,
Mhm.
came up with a lot of excuses for us to hang out together
Yeah.
by inviting other people to the things
Oh,
that we would do.
100%. I didn't want to be. Yeah, you're just like one of the group.
Yeah, I was just one
I
of the
invited
one
a
of the people.
group of people to do things. You just happen to be one of them.
Yes, exactly.
Let's not. I won't even lie.
And I feel like
I
hiding
would
the
love,
treasure.
I would love to lie and say that was an accident. No,
And I
fuck
definitely
that.
feel like hiding the treasure was like that because you invited a lot of people to
I
like come out
did.
and do this, and the only person who actually showed up was Dina.
Yeah.
So
And you.
shout out to her.
Shout out to Dina. Exactly. If
Yeah.
Dina hadn't showed up and only you showed up, ooh boy.
That would have been weird. She definitely
Could've
like,
been great.
made that experience like
No,
way more.
She was fun.
Yeah.
She's a good partner in adventure.
Yeah.
She really went for it.
Yeah,
It was great.
it was awesome.
It made it acceptable for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it also gave me a chance to like get to know her because at that point I only met her like once.
I think I was like, no, okay, I'd met her.
I'd only met her.
I had taken
like,
her on,
passing.
I had taken her on a dumber boat adventure. the
Oh,
summer
that's
before.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. She came on a sinking boat adventure the summer before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I knew she was up for adventure. She's an island girl. She's a fucking boat
Oh, that's
girl.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's not afraid,
Yeah.
which is cool. So that was cool that she came.
Yeah.
But she is the only other one that came, and I believe I
Mhm.
probably invited like
Yeah. And
a bunch of
that
people.
treasure is still out there.
It is still out
We're not
there.
going to tell anybody where it is though because we don't want people to go look for it.
No, dude, there's a lot of booty in that booty. you know?
But
yeah.
don't even like mention the name of it.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay, yeah.
It's an unnamed island.
Yeah, but there's treasure. There's buried treasure out there,
Yeah.
guys.
Unnamed island. And I don't know if maybe it's in
Don't
Puget
even-
Sound. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's out there. But that was really fun.
No coordinates. That was really fun. I was really very, very happy to have you on that trip. And of course, at that time, you realize, just straight honesty, I had a mega crush on you at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. It was
I
tough.
was like, I was trying to like keep it cool and everything, but
Oh, we kept it so cool, dude.
we were so cool.
Yeah, we were so cool.
Can I pick another question, or
Yeah,
can
you
I let
can.
you pick a question?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you were supposed to make some questions for me, but,
Oh yeah, I didn't.
that
do
was kind
that.
of the turnaround anyway, so it was kind of fun. Since I did this, let's just play with it.
I love that all of these papers are.
Some of these you might not want to do. I don't know. Some might be too much.
Okay,
What do we get? What do we get?
this one looks pretty long.
Oh boy, it's a big piece of paper. This might be a serious one. I had some.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, these are great questions.
oh,
Where
good.
did you come up with these questions? Did you just think of these randomly?
Not randomly. I thought all day about them.
Wow. Okay.
Kept coming back.
This one says, when did you realize you were totally in charge of what you do with your life?
Oh, I like this question.
What did you first think you would do about it?
See, this is something I don't know about you, so this is a real question. It's kind of a serious one. I don't know. You need a break. You need to do we need a sponsor break? You need to think about that one, or just go right in.
Do you want to answer this question first?
No, I kind of want you to answer this question first, because I answered the last question first, and then I kind of went off on a tangent. Unless
When
you need to
did-
think about it.
When did you realize you were totally in charge of what you do with your life? Honestly, I feel like it was the moment that I decided to move to Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So, at what age was that again? You think?
I was like 21, 22.
21, 22. Cool.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about So the point of that question was up until that point. What did you feel like? You're like, you were just going
Oh,
down some
man.
path that's set already for you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Up until that point, I felt like I was just doing everything that everybody expected me to do.
Yeah,
I guess.
the things That's the point of this question. At what age
Yeah.
did you realize you didn't have to do what people expected of you? Is somebody breaking down your door?
No,
We both
I
have
don't know what that
headphones
was.
on.
I mean, my window's also open too. So
Mm.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I feel like, oh man,
Like,
I
let's
was
like just before you realize that. So how?
yeah, just before I realized that, I was basically like, I mean, I was just so depressed when I was
Mm.
living in my hometown because
Yeah.
I knew like I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I just knew that whatever I was doing was not it. And I was like, I need to do something. I need to do something to change this. And one of those things I know is that I need to get away from my hometown
Yep.
because I had such a shitty time in high school and I did not want to be around those people anymore. And if I chose to go to college, I knew that I would be kind of going to college with the same people that I went to high school with.
Why was that?
Like even if
Just
I
because
went,
like financially, you'd be like going to the close college.
I would
whatever.
either be going to the college in my hometown or I'd be going somewhere in Denver, which I knew a lot of people were going to like colleges in Denver.
Mhm.
And I know that like I probably would never run into someone that I went to high school with in college, but it was just like small town mindset where I was like, I can't risk that because I just don't want to be around these people at all. And I want to be as far away from them as humanly possible.
Yep. Yep.
But I was just like, as like when I stopped going to high school, like I graduated and everything, I was just kind of like doing whatever. Like I was working part-time job and I was like living with my boyfriend at the time, who was emotionally abusive towards me and like just like the whole thing. And it just got to the point where I was just like, at that point I had visited Seattle like 2 or 3 times and I kind of knew that like I knew for sure that I wanted to live there.
Yeah.
But when it got really bad to the point where like my relationship was terrible and I knew that there was nothing left for me in my hometown, then I was just like, "Oh, I actually have the power to like do something about this."
Yeah. I don't have to work at Joann's. I can actually.
I don't have to be here at all.
I could work at Joann's in Seattle. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could, you know.
But that's kind of like the crux of that question is like, what do you think was it the bad boyfriend relationship at the moment? Was it the frustration with being in this town? What do you think like clicked that made you be like, oh, wait a minute, I can do whatever I want. I can fucking go. Like there's no like, you know.
I think it was fear. Fear of like staying in the same spot for too long.
That's funny. You're just saying so fear pushed you forward here.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Because I was
That's
afraid.
great because a lot of times fear holds people back.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was thinking that like, oh, if I stayed in Junction any longer than I did, then I would probably like find a partner and then we would get married and then I would probably have kids and then I would like do all of these things that other people wanted me to do that I did not want at all.
Are you sure there was other people that wanted you to do that? Like
No,
or is
I'm
that
not
just in
sure.
your head?
I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that at
See,
all.
that's the part of your life where I think that like unfortunately when you're that young, you think other people want you to do something like that. But I doubt your mom wanted you to do that.
No, but it was
You know?
it was a fear though.
Yeah.
It was a fear that like what if I stay here for too long and I don't do anything about it, then I'm just going to fall into all of these same things that the people around me are doing. Like all the people that I went to high school with or even, you know, my brothers and
Your brothers at this time you had that realization. Your
Mhm.
brothers already had a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that was a pretty clear indication to you that you look at your brother and you're like, well, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. I was terrified of that. And I'm like, if this is like if I'm ever going to move to Seattle, like it's never going to be a perfect moment for me to move to Seattle.
It will not.
Because even if I like saved up a bunch of money and I was like, I have this perfect vision where I'm going to move to Seattle and I'm going to live in my own apartment and I'm going to live downtown somewhere by myself and I build up like this perfect image. I'm never going to get there because it's never going to happen. So in my brain, I was like, just need to get there and I'll figure everything
Well,
else out
I think that's
later.
really important because basically everything works like that. Like,
Yeah.
You can't keep preparing for stuff forever and think you're gonna get to that point where you're like, I'm so ready to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I say
You
it's
cannot
my
wait for
skateboarding
conditions.
analogy once again, but you got to just fucking drop in. When you are about to drop in, your human brain, no matter what, is scared as fuck.
Mhm.
But you have to fucking do it right now, or else you'll maybe never do it. You might walk
Yeah.
up to that edge 1,000 times and not do it, and then you've never done it. And that just goes for like everything, really.
Yeah.
And it's the problem is we'll never be prepared for the next thing. I mean, you know, you and I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah,
Not prepared for this.
you cannot wait for conditions to be perfect for you to start something.
No.
And that's a really hard lesson to learn for sure. But I feel like back then I was just like, if there is a time for me to do this, like it is literally right now.
Like literally no adventure ever started with perfect conditions.
Yeah.
Every adventure from the fucking beginning of man started with somebody being like, fuck it, I'm going for it.
I know.
Like at this point, I'm just
And
like,
that's why
going for it.
Nike's slogan is just do it.
Are you sure it's not fuck it, go for it?
Yeah, we're allowed to.
I haven't been paying
Never
attention.
underestimate the power of fuck it.
Yeah, I love that. That's a nice sign in your bathroom. It's a nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's
It's
in your
true.
bathroom, but it's good. It's definitely good.
Because it's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're getting ready for your day. And you're
Yeah, you walk out that door, you're like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
like, fuck it.
Yeah. Ooh, man, the video that will be great.
Yeah.
But so okay, so that's pretty cool. So it's definitely that
What
moment.
is the second part of this question?
Yeah, like read the question again because I kind of want to like. I forgot what I wrote in the question.
Okay,
technically.
the question is, when did you realize you were totally in charge of what you do with your life?
Yep.
And what did you first think you would do about it?
There you go.
Yeah.
I think you answered that very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did too.
Yeah. Not only did you answer that very well, you know what's else pretty cool about it? You actually fucking did it.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
did.
mean? You're like, yeah, you did it.
Mhm.
I know I can say the same, so I'll give you my like vision
Yes,
of this.
Please.
Like, so, you know, I same way, you know, grew up in my family, Washington, like very like, you know, we traveled a lot in Oregon, Washington, Northern California, but we'd never really been anywhere beyond that, beyond Cascadia, Canada, Oregon, Washington, Northern California, a little bit of Southern California, whatever. But I always grew up just, you know, my dad had his family business, you know, construction business. I'm the oldest kid, boy. I just literally kind of went into life just thinking I had to do what all those guys did. Like I had to work for my dad. I had to become an engineer. I had to like go to college and be smart and build shit and work construction because I just didn't know anything else. Technically, that's the, you know, unfortunately, I grew up in a pre-internet world where like my knowledge base was like just what's around you, you know? And so it was pretty limited. Like, and I fully went kind of until I was about the same age, probably 21, about 21, when I was still just like trying to fit in, go to college, be a smart guy, get a job, all that shit. And then dude, I'll give my parents mad credit because they gave me a sit down talking to where they're just like, yo, dude, we can see you're not happy with this. Why don't you go fuck off? And I literally remember it was a coffee shop in the U District where they fucking took me out to fucking coffee, sat down, and they were smart enough to look at me and be like, yo, dude, you're obviously fucking up and you're not happy doing this. Like, why don't you go fuck off and be a ski bum, whatever, do that shit. And then I did. And that was it. It was a big jump. And there was some things I moved to the other state, went down there. That wasn't perfect, whatever. But it definitely freed me of the bonds of thinking that I had to do what other people wanted me to do. But like, just like you, like I was saying, like, I'm not sure anyone else ever thought that about me. But it's just when you're young, you kind of have these assumptions about what your family and your parents what you think they want you to do kind of holds you back because you're like, oh, I gotta like please
Yeah, but
them.
it's also like being surrounded by it too that has a major influence on you as well.
Yeah, definitely. But that's why it's a fun question because it's a fun question because you were a person that made that choice and made a break and did something totally different than everyone else in your family, than everyone else around you. But not everybody does that. So I could ask the same question to like someone from your hometown or someone from my hometown. They literally wouldn't have an answer to it.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? I've always done what I was supposed to.
Which is fine. You know, if some people are literally just happy with that lifestyle of just staying where you are and just making a home base and being planted, and that's totally fine.
I guess, but it's whack.
Yeah, it's totally
I mean,
whack.
no, I mean, it's like I'm not talking down to them. You're right. Like if they want to do that, if they want to live a boring life, please go ahead. You, your friends, watch TV. I don't know. Just
No, yeah.
like I said, this also comes down to this like a follow-up question. Like, at what age did you realize that some of the people you knew were just gonna get old right away, and then some of the people you knew were never gonna get old? Like, I swear to God, it's kind of a close moment in life for most people in that 20 to 25 age range.
Yeah, I don't think I ever truly thought about that until I met you.
Oh shit, yeah. That's good, I guess. I think I know which end of the spectrum I lie on there, you know, so it's pretty obvious. But I like remember I remember being like 25 and, you know, do you have a 5-year high school reunion? Is that a thing? But I remember, you know, because your hometown, at least when you escape your hometown, you're fucking far away. So you don't see that fucking hometown anymore. My hometown that totally sucks just as much is technically 35 miles from here, 40 miles. It's not fucking far. And so I remember I would go back to visit my parents or whatever. Well, for me, I did have to go back and work for my dad. I never totally escaped that until much later because I'd always still kind of get, I don't want a family guilt trip, but family responsibility of just like, I got to go help my dad do some horrible job that none of us want to do, but that's what pays for shit. And in the process of doing that, I would have to go back to this stupid town and kind of live there a little bit, but little bits at a time. And when I was there, I would bump into people that went to my high school. And I remember being like 24 or 20 something, 3, 4, 5. And at the same time, I had a whole different life in Seattle where I was snowboarding and skateboarding and just doing crazy adventures until I ran out of money. And then I would go back and work for my dad for 3 months or 4 months or something like that to like stockpile some cash again. And when I was doing that, you know, I don't want to talk shit about it. It wasn't horrible. I love my dad. And the job we did, I mean, obviously it was horrible and hard work and dangerous and whatever. But one, it fucking paid good. And two, the job itself was kind of adventurous. So, you know, it kind of got, even when I was working for my dad, it wasn't like I was working at McDonald's or a factory or anything like that. Me and my dad were out there doing some adventurous fucking thing every day that we got paid for. But when I was there, and even that's kind of funny. That's kind of a family trait of fucking Viking adventure-dom, where when I was in the town, we'd come back and spend the night, and I'd maybe go to the bar in the local town. You know, I'm 22 now. I'll go to the fucking bar in the local town. Like, I remember your Main Street stories, you know? And, like, we had that little Main Street with the bar. And I would meet people that were in my high school that I was like, dude, you look like you're fucking 45. You were like 20 fucking 5, and you were acting like you're so old. Like your life is over. You're so fucking boring. You're boring. You're doing nothing. You don't have any adventure plans. You don't have any. And that was the moment where I was like, I had to like make a conscious choice where I was like, I knew I didn't want to be like that. Fuck that shit. I want to be like retired forever. I want to go hard adventure. But sadly, not being the trustafarian that I am not, I did have to come back and do some construction for a few months a year to like make some money. Such a fine point, but like, you know, the other people I would run into at that point had just completely succumbed to working in a factory and just being content. I don't know if they were content with it. They seem like they're content with it, but I could never fucking be content with that.
Yeah.
It's just, And so I remember that
Me either.
change moment, that moment where I was like, I'm in charge. I am in charge. I can quit and I can go and try and make money doing something somewhere else where I want to be. Yeah, it's a big moment in life to like make that transition, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure, not everybody makes it. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder what the percentage is there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it is like one of my biggest fears is to not feel like I lived my life.
Fuck yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
I mean, this goes back to our holiday stories, but both of my grandparents were like my favorite dudes. My grandfathers, fucking awesome motherfuckers. Funny, super smart, super creative, fun guys. But they both, you know, they worked the working man's life and they retired when they were 65 and they both fucking died like a year after retiring. Like literally, like, they didn't get any retirement. They worked their whole fucking life. And then they had like pension and old school boomer shit, like where they could have retired if they lived, but the work had worked their fucking, had killed them, you know? And so I remember at that point too, because both my favorite grandparents died when I was young, I was instantly like, I don't really ever want to work. I want to be permanently semi-retired. Permanently semi-retired was always my like thought. I was like, yeah, I'll work for like, you know, fishing style, like construction style, like logging style. I'll work really hard for like 3 or 4 months a year and then fuck off for as long as I could until I had to work really hard again. That was always my like get out. Yeah. Which I'm totally happy about. Definitely, you know, I don't have a retirement plan now, but you know, whatever. I got way more rad shit in. Yeah, it's true. I'm just glad that you made that jump because without you making that jump, I would have never met you. It's pretty cool.
True.
Yeah, I would have never met you. You'd be in Colorado, 6 kids.
No chance.
Oh, side note. Sarah, how many kids do you want to have?
We don't need to talk about
Okay, fine. It's not 6. The number is
Definitely
not
not
6.
six. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Not even close to that.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's a fun story. That was a good one. I'm glad you escaped.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I love that little desert town once a year.
Well, you know, we should go back and visit as tourists with like
I
mountain
would
bikes
love
and
to
shit.
visit.
We should go there and hike that fucking cliff. Ride
I don't
bikes
know if
around
I
that
go
cliff.
back there and hike, dude. I could barely breathe there.
Yeah.
I have
I
to
get you on that.
acclimate to the altitude
I
before
do smoke
do
weed
any-
and I am from Washington.
Yep.
Two big negatives
It's
there.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
Going back to Colorado. No, but yeah, I need to go back, see my fam. I usually go back there once a year, so summertime.
Summertime for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to hit that fall season when you said it's like not blazing.
Yeah, the
in
fall
summertime.
there is pretty out of this
Yeah.
world for sure.
Should really talk those guys into having their party in the fall when it's not so blazing hot.
Yeah, I just want to go back for peach season.
When's peach season?
Like late summer.
Yeah.
Late summer.
Peach season.
Mm.
Mm.
Palisade peaches.
Tell me about your peach job. I saw you did a little post today about list all your jobs.
I did. I listed on,
that like
on
one of
my
those-
Instagram
Was
stories.
that one of those things that was just going around? Everybody
Yeah,
did it?
it's like a trend right
Yeah.
now. But on Instagram, I
So
listed
give me the lowdown. Let's hear what they are again.
I listed every job that I've ever worked,
And you literally could do that. Just yep.
just off the top of my head. Yeah,
That's amazing.
I was trying to think about all of the ones that I legally worked at. Wink,
Sorry,
wink.
podcast. We're
Just
not
kidding.
talking about those shady jobs.
No, but it's all blur. It's like a very blurry time because like I was in and out of jobs so much, like in the like almost entire year that I was unemployed. Like
Oh, you mean it's just this last recent couple
Yeah.
years ago?
yeah, and
Oh.
I'm just like, how many places did I actually work at? Because some places I worked at like a day and then I quit.
How many did you did Target for a
I
day?
did Target for one day.
Gotta say it with an accent. Target for a day.
Target for
Target.
a day.
Target for a day.
But yeah, my first ever job was working at Chick-fil-A. Shout out 17. I wore the cow costume. and I stood out on the corner and waved at people on the highway.
What season was it? Summer.
No, I was in school.
So it wasn't super hot out in the cow costume then. The cow costume was a benefit, not a
I mean,
detriment.
it was really fucking hot in that cow costume for sure.
Do you remember just being dripping in sweat?
I do remember, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because my friend at the time,
Side note: Sarah all smells amazing.
he was the one who got me the job because he put in a good word for like the big man.
Did
And
you have to take over
he-
the suit after somebody else had just taken it off?
No. Because it wasn't like a full time thing. It was just like during events and occasionally on the weekends.
Yeah.
Was like when the cow worked. But he was in like the cow suit, but then he took on like another like full time gig. So he had to stop doing the cow and they needed a cow replacement. And he's just like, "Do you want to wear the mascot?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I would love to do that. That sounds like so much fun." And technically, like inside of the cow costume, there was air conditioning or like a fan,
No way.
but it was broken. It did not work.
Uh,
And I'd have to go to schools, and little kids would like punch me in the gut,
no way.
which like with the cow's gut. So for me, it was like my chest, which was not fun at all.
I didn't realize was Chick-fil-A doing fucking Christian outreach at schools? The fuck is Chick-fil-A? Why the fuck is a Chick-fil-A cow going to a school?
It was like it was a private school, and
Ah.
were giving out like coupons or some shit. I don't remember.
Can we
I don't
talk about
remember.
how? I mean, I think Chick-fil-A is a crazy thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so does everybody else. Yes, I know.
Okay.
I'm not proud of the fact that I worked there for sure. Definitely not. But it was my first job.
Yeah. At least they didn't get you in the cult, though. Good job.
Yeah. And then after that I worked at Wendy's.
Which is
But I refused
Way less
I
common.
refused to like do anything else but make the fries.
how is that possible?
Because they tried to teach me how to like put together all of the hamburgers and stuff.
That's just too
And
much.
I was just really bad at it. And I was just like, I only want to do the fries. Can I just do the fries? And they also had, you think that the POS system that we use now at work is ancient? The Wendy's system? What the hell is that?
I'm sure it was horrible.
Oh my
can't even
God.
imagine.
It's like the hardest system to learn, and
That
the-
was
the
the
light
then.
just shut
That
off.
was the light. He's out of batteries.
fine.
We've been talking for a sec, yo.
yeah, that's fine. But no, just like the most ancient system ever. And then like I had a bunch of other like random odd jobs. But the peach stand,
Wait a minute. Random on jobs. Let's you gotta,
I'm listing all of them. All
might
right.
as well. You
After
did.
that,
It's
well,
kinda fun.
okay. Let me
So
let me
Chick-fil-A, Wendy's,
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Is that what it's called?
Okay, Wendy's. Okay, yeah. And then I worked at Joanne, and I did that for 3 years. I did that for a long time.
That was a long term. That's like a
Yeah.
career. See, that's the one that you almost didn't escape.
Yeah, that's the one where
You
I,
could be. You
I
could
was
be.
there for
you
a
could
long
be like
time.
a 45-year-old lady there right now.
I could
You like
be.
literally would
Dude,
be. If you had
and the
stayed,
thing
if you'd stayed at Joanne Fabric, you would like literally be like a 45-year-old woman.
Oh, I
right now.
know. And I probably would be loving it because I did truly love that job. That was such a good job. And I had so much fun working there. And my coworkers were so cool. And I got promoted. And so,
What's a
Yeah.
promotion? What's a promotion at Joanne?
so I was like, Joanne is a very different company nowadays than it was back when I worked there because like they did an entire rebranding, and being in a Joanne nowadays is like so fucking weird.
Why?
Like,
What's the
I
difference?
don't. It's just very like it almost feels like kind of Kmarty.
Wasn't it always kind of Kmarty?
No, when I was not really when I worked there, it seemed more like
I love that as a term. I'm actually
Like-
I'm actually surprised that you have as a vocabulary like descriptor kind of Kmarty. Have you
Well,
ever
because-
even experienced a Kmart?
Of course I have.
Okay.
I'm
Did you
not
have to go
that
school?
young.
Did you have to go school shopping at a Kmart?
Yes.
Okay, well then there you go. That's
Okay,
real.
but the thing
As
about
a girl, that had
I
to be
would
traumatic.
not say that if I didn't like actually know what that meant.
Sure.
But
was
when
just
I worked
surprised
at
you knew what that
when I worked at Joanne, I was like comparing Joanne to Hobby Lobby, and we don't shop at Hobby Lobby. We know that we don't shop at Hobby Lobby.
Fuck yeah, no.
So I was just like, oh, I work at Joanne. Joanne is so much better than Hobby Lobby. It's like more high end than Hobby Lobby.
Yes.
But nowadays it does not feel like that at all.
But it's
like, it
still
just
not. But
doesn't.
it's still not Hobby Lobby.
but it's still not Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
But I loved working at Joann. It was in the mall. Like I was friends with some of the workers who also worked in the mall, and it was just a good time.
Yeah, mall jobs.
You know?
Awesome.
And then so after I worked at, and I was you said,
Was there a Hot Topic in this mall? Was there a
of course
Zoomies
there
in this
was.
mall?
Of course there was, yeah.
Yep.
But promotion wise, I was just like a fabric cutter and
Mhm.
just regular thing, blah 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 blah. But then I got promoted to inventory coordinator, which is just a fancy job for someone who unloaded the truck and checked in all the inventory and
Nice.
stuff like that. So I did.
They put you in there because of the muscles, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. So
Obviously.
I did that for a while, and then I was just like, "Oh, inventory! I can do inventory." And so then I worked for RGIS, which is a national inventory counting company, where
Right.
you just count other stores' inventory.
That is the
It
fucking-
was the most.
That sounds like the horrible idea ever.
It was the most mind-numbing
Did you
job
quit
I ever.
Joann to do that?
No. I did. In my 3 years of working at Joann, I worked 2 separate jobs at the same time, and RGIS was one of them.
Right.
And I trained there for a couple of weeks. I want to say training for it was 3 weeks. And then I went on to I did 2 stores inventory. I don't remember what the first one was. I think it was a craft store of some kind.
It's a Hobby Lobby.
It was probably a fucking Hobby Lobby.
you got surreptitiously hired by Hobby Lobby.
But then they sent us to Denver to count the inventory to a Nike. No, not a Nike. It was, oh man, what's the name of oh man,
Adidas,
no, it was
New Balance.
no, it
Vans?
wasn't a shoe company.
Oh, okay.
It was a sporting goods store, Sports Authority, a Sports Authority warehouse.
Fun.
And so I stood in one spot for 8 hours and just counted shoes, in the shoe boxes.
Nice.
And I didn't do anything else. Just stood in one spot on a conveyor belt because we were on a conveyor belt.
Oh,
You
my
just count it.
Yeah.
And I quit that day because I
Yeah.
was like, I'm not ever doing this shit again.
Yeah. Once you do a factory job, it's quickly you find out if you're a factory job person or not.
Yeah.
See,
and
I had a
definitely was
moment
not.
when I wanted to get out of doing gnarly construction for my dad because I thought working for my dad sucks. I stuck with my dad and it was it's deadly and muddy and just hard work,
Yeah, it sucks.
So I kind of begged to get a job at my friend's dad's factory. And literally within the first fucking 20 minutes, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But then once again, going back to that being the kid who doesn't want to not do the right thing, dude, I did it for a whole month before I quit.
Damn.
I did 30 fucking days of
There's
a
no
fucking
chance I would ever
factory
do that.
job making magazine racks for Stairmasters.
Wow.
Dude.
Oh my
A
God.
giant box to my right full of plastic. And then I had a little board that I'd pick the piece of plastic up on and drill 8 holes and router a fucking little square out and then put it in a box to my left. And I was supposed to do that as fast
You
as I
made
could
it out.
all day.
Holy crap.
Oh my fucking God. I was like, please let me go back to shoveling fucking mud for my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grass is always greener.
It's such a mistake.
Yeah. And so then after I did that, I worked at City Market.
That sounds fancy.
It's like a Fred Meyer. It's literally a Fred Meyer.
Hmm.
Not so fancy.
The city of Junction Market. City Market.
It's like a
City
Kroger.
Market in Seattle is definitely a fancy store.
It's
That
no,
shit-
it is not.
No,
City Market. Have you ever been to the City Market?
is there one?
There's one on Capitol Hill.
Oh, I've never heard of it. No, I did not know.
It's like a tiny little bodega.
Oh,
It's really funny, actually.
is it the same chain? that was-
Yeah, it's Kroger.
Oh, it's Kroger.
Yeah.
Oh. For some reason, when I hear City Market, I think of the fancy Thriftway or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
It's got a good name.
I mean, it was,
What was your job there?
I was like a stocking person. I just
Mm.
stocked shit
Yep.
in the early hours of the morning because I would work 2 jobs. I was still working at Joann at the same time.
What was motivating you to work 2 jobs at a time at that point?
I wanted to get the fuck out of Junction.
Yes, money. Yes.
And
Nice.
then, yeah, because at that time I had quit working at Joann.
Oh.
I was working both jobs,
hmm
and then I quit working at City Market, and then I quit Joann. and then visited Seattle for 10 days. Went back to Junction, and then I got the job at the Palisade Peach Stand.
I love how you have to pull up your notes for this. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have
You
my notes
you
here.
do have notes.
I have my notes.
So Palisades Peach Stand sounds
So basically,
like
I
a summer job.
I posted on like my Facebook, and I was like, "Yo, is anyone hiring for like 2 months? Because I'm trying not to stay here for too long.
Yep.
What can I do?" And one of my friends,
It's funny. Indy needs that job right now.
Yeah.
That's the job he's looking for right now.
one of my friends in Junction was just like, "Hey, yeah, his like family worked at like one of the local farms that had the peaches, and they were like, he was like, yeah, there's like a stand that we run like out by the airport if you want to like run it like a couple days a week, and then you make tips and you get paid hourly, and it's like pretty good, and you get to eat all of the peaches that you want."
I love that he put that into the job application.
And I'm like, this sounds like my dream job, literally. So let me just get right on that. And so yeah, I did that for about a month, I want to say. Like
how many peaches do you think you ate?
so many.
Really?
Yeah. I probably ate like a flat a week, probably.
Damn.
Which is crazy.
That's a lot of peaches.
Yeah. Because I'd be like, oh, damn, that's a good peach. I'm going to eat that one. That one's mine. But then I did that for a little while. And then I was just like, okay, I should probably get a real job. So, because I didn't make it to Seattle yet. And I was like, I'm still stuck here for a minute. So I should probably find a real job that pays me maybe a little bit more money than the peach stand.
Well, peach stand's going to end at some point for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, let me find a real
Nobody's coming to
job.
the peach stand in December.
So I applied at Starbucks. And then at the same time, I also applied at a photo studio inside of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, it wasn't like one of those JCPenney things. It was something like adjacent to that, like an independent,
Yeah.
like
It was
photo
one step
studio.
up. You weren't getting you were like
Yeah.
cooler than JC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I applied and like I interviewed for Starbucks and the photo studio place on the same day. And so I did Starbucks first, and they were like, yeah, okay, we're going to reach out to you in a couple days. And I was just like, okay, great. And then I went to the photo studio. They offered me a job on the spot, and I was like, okay, great. Great. So I started working at the photo studio,
The funny
and
thing
I
is,
worked there.
your brain at that age, did that set off any alarms that they're like, oh, we'll take you now?
No, I just thought it was so fucking cool.
Oh, of course. That was it.
Yeah.
100%.
That was 100%
Probably true.
why.
Probably true.
Yeah. And so I worked there for 3 days. And on the third day, Starbucks called me and offered me a job. And I was like, I'll take it. Because I was just like, you know where there are a million Starbucks?
Yeah, it's true.
Seattle.
Right.
That was my in.
It's a really great inn.
That was my in.
As much as we want to hate on Starbucks, that is kind of a great.
Yeah.
What's the sheer number of people we know that have been able to make like kind of life transforming moves via their Starbucks jobs?
For sure. And I honestly feel like, oh man, I could talk about Starbucks for an entire episode too.
Well, I
we
think
know
we're
this.
gonna have to. Like, sometime we're gonna have to get to how like you got fired. You know.
Damn, dropping the
Yeah.
ball
Oh,
right
sorry, whoops,
now.
whoops.
No,
Talk about
but
jobs.
way back in the day where I was just like, that was like my plan. I was just like, and back in the day, I don't know what it's like now, but like you had to be employed for at least 6 months in order to transfer,
That makes
like
sense.
within the company,
Yeah.
which was fine. So my plan was that, okay, 6 months, and then I'm going to move to Seattle. Turns out that didn't happen at all. That was
Wait,
my
why didn't it happen? What happened?
That was my original plan, but after 6 months, I was just like, "There's no way that I can move to Seattle now, like right now. Like I just wasn't ready for it, which was fine.
In what way?
Financially,
Yeah.
personally, I don't know. Like it was another like one of me trying to wait for conditions to be perfect.
Yep. Conditions weren't
But
perfect. Boyfriend at the time.
So, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so I stayed.
Conditions weren't perfect.
So I stayed in Junction for like another year. And at that point, like I'd gone through like the breakup and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to move to Seattle now. And I had the job at Starbucks, which was great. And then when I made the decision to move to Seattle, I just like I wish I still had this paper. I bet I have it somewhere like hidden in my archives or something. But I sat in the grass in like the front yard of my ex's mom's house because at the time we were still living together and like all this shit. And I
Yeah.
just made a list of every Starbucks store downtown and wrote out the manager's name and the phone number
On paper.
on paper.
Yeah.
And I got on my phone and I called every single one. And
Damn.
I went down the entire list and I called 15 Starbucks stores until I landed on 4th and Seneca. And I talked to the people, and that was the first people who were like, yes, we need a barista.
Wow.
And I worked at 4th and Seneca for 4 years.
That's what got you to move?
That's what got me to move, yeah.
You made all those phone calls, and they're like, we'll take you.
Yep.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, I'm buying my one-way plane ticket. Like, I'm going to give my 2 weeks notice, and I'm going to, like, ask for a transfer with my people. My people are going to get in touch with your people. They literally, like, put me on the schedule, like, 2 weeks later, and they're like, your first day is August 28th.
Damn.
And I was just like, okay, sweet, I'm on my way.
That's fucking crazy. But
And
that was a sweet drop-in moment right there, though.
And that was
Because that was like the fact that you went through all those, and then somebody actually was like, "Yo, we're gonna give you a job." Then you were like on the precipice. You had to you had to jump in. You know?
And like I didn't really have any relation to where I was going to be living because I knew that I was going to be living with Doug and Emily at their house. And the only thing that I knew, like I kind of knew the general area of where they lived, but I knew that if I just picked a store downtown is very centralized and I could get downtown to no matter where I was.
Yeah, totally.
Pretty easily.
Also, you're like trying to leave some small ass town. You're like, "Oh, fuck, I want to work downtown." You know what I mean? Like you didn't know Seattle well enough to be like, "I want to work in Fremont." You know?
No,
like,
I didn't know, but I knew that like traveling wise, I could get downtown pretty easily no matter where I was.
Yep.
And I did that, and I worked at Starbucks for 7 years.
What happened then?
I got fired.
Oh,
We can talk about that another time though.
that's episode never 3.9.
3.9.
I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
But and then I worked a bunch of like odd jobs after that until I landed like where I'm at now.
Yeah. What odd jobs were in between? The one day at Target.
Yeah, I worked 1 day at Target. Technically, I worked 2 days, but
Ooh, nice.
I did the onboarding day and then I did like
One day.
training day.
Yeah, training day. You were just like.
And then
what the
halfway
fuck?
through training day, I was like, "Fuck this! I can't do it."
What was it that broke the back at Target?
I mean, I was dealing like with a whole lot of personal things around that time, and my anxiety just like could not handle change in that way.
And the fluorescent lights.
And no, not even no lighting. They like stuck me in this training room in the very back of the store, and it was like motion lights, so the light shut off after I was back there for so long.
Oh shit.
And like no one was coming in to like check on me. No one was gonna be like, "Hey, it's been 4 hours. You should probably take a break." Or,
What?
"Hey, your lunch is scheduled
What are
at
you
this
training?
time."
What are you doing? Like reading something or like?
I was doing like computer training, like modules
Oh shit.
online.
Wow.
And I was just like, this is so fucking weird that they're just leaving me in the back and not like telling me when to take a break.
Yeah.
So I took a break and I like went outside and I like ate something and like came back in. And then I was just like, this is fucking weird that like still no one has told me like what to do or given me any direction or anything. And I was just like, I can't fucking do it. I can't work in this kind of environment.
Wow, that's weird.
And I just
That's
couldn't handle
weird.
it. And like I had a panic attack too, and I
shit.
left.
While
like,
you were
sobbing.
there? Oh no.
I was
Oh,
complete,
no.
and that poor Target worker too, the one who was like kind of training me, but also like running the entire store by herself,
Right.
like because that store was so. I mean, it's closed now, which is
Which one was it? Where was
the
it?
one in Ballard.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but I literally like was when I decided that like I wasn't coming back, I, like took all my shit, and she was like telling another worker like what to do in one of the back stock rooms, and I just like walked past her and I'm like sobbing, and I tell her I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't do this," and she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like, and I'm like, and I bolt the fuck out of there, and like she
No.
called me days late, like day after that for like 4 days, like
Yeah.
checking up on me, and I never called her back.
Oh no. Oh no.
I couldn't do it.
Oh
I
shit.
couldn't do
You're
it.
just like literally bailed.
Yeah,
Oh,
I really
no.
bailed.
What
And
were,
then
the,
I
what
worked,
were the other little in betweens?
and then I worked. Well, I mean, I had several interviews. I interviewed to work at a tattoo studio, which I so wish I got that job, but
Why? What would
I'm
that
glad
be?
I didn't.
Yeah, just receptionist or whatever.
Yeah, just like booking appointments and checking
Getting-
people
just
in.
spending
and,
all your money on tattoos forever.
Yep.
Yep. Which tattoo studio?
The one over here. One of the ones in Fremont.
Which one?
One of the ones in Fremont.
Why do you not want to say its name?
I don't want to say it
Why not?
because I just don't.
Give me a reason.
Because I just don't want to.
The one right below you here?
No,
What do you have against it?
I don't have anything against it. I just think it's weird, and I don't want to say it.
I want to stop recording so you can tell me. This is like now I feel like you're like hiding. That place
We
is
could
crazy.
probably just edit that out.
Yeah, you could have just done that also. Okay, so yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah,
That's fine.
and then I also interviewed to work at Peace Fans
Oh yeah, cool.
Rentals.
Yep.
Yeah, and that didn't work out,
That didn't work
which
out.
is fine. Whatever. And then I got a job working at Swedish,
Mm-hmm.
the hospital, as a barista.
Yep.
And that was like one of the worst experiences probably ever. Like I got more shit thrown at me at that store than in my entire 7 years working at Starbucks.
What do you mean shit actually thrown at you?
Yeah, like this one guy got so fucking mad that we didn't have ketchup. Which was really funny because
Those
like
Starbucks aren't known for their ketchup.
we worked at like I
cafeteria?
worked at the Starbucks and the cafeteria was right next door.
Right.
And I literally told him, I was like, you can go get ketchup down the hallway. And I understand that, like, working in a hospital, like, not a single person that you interact with wants to be there.
No, nobody's happy.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not like I can be like, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Oh, you got cancer? Sweet.
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just tragic all the way around. And I understand that, like the stress surrounding that is really, really high.
Yeah.
And, like, at that time in my life, I was just like, I cannot emotionally handle this.
No, I mean,
And-
being at work in any sense is hard enough as it is.
Yeah, and not only that, but also like the people that I worked with at that store were some of the worst people I have ever met.
Because it's a bad job.
Like
And nobody
they were
wanted to be there.
just so incredibly rude, and I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So the day that I got offered the job at the camera store,
Okay, can we go back? When did you interview for the job at the camera store? Like,
when did I interview?
Yeah.
Interview?
Did you still have long hair at that point?
No,
No,
that was years ago.
that was years ago. I'm just trying to imagine if I saw it because we did meet when you came into the camera store like shopping one time.
Yeah. That was I wish I could remember like the exact year or even date that I came in.
It had to be sometime that year before because it was like
Probably.
semi-recent to that. Because I remember. Yeah, but I don't remember seeing you get the interview at Glazier's or anything. I was like, did I see you?
No,
get an
I
interview?
came in and the first person I talked to was Henry.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He
Okay.
was standing at like the corner.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I'm here for an interview. He's
Because
like,
Henry's like me. We would both stand up there and walk
he
around.
was like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Ah,
But
Henry. Miss Henry.
it's that kid.
Yep. Good energy, dude. See, Henry's a great guy to work with because he's like, yeah, he's just good energy. He's fucking,
But he's also doing shit too.
yeah, he's out doing shit.
He's
a
out doing
go-getter.
shit.
He's a
Just
fucking,
full circle.
he's a dropper.
He's doing something stupid right now.
He is, dude. He's doing big stupid. It's
but
awesome.
Totally
He
rad.
fucking went to Spain and got married, bro.
He got married?
Yeah, how do you think he's still there? He married some skater
Like
girl. He became a
actually
real
got
skateboarder.
married?
Some sort of like, convenience marriage, I think.
Henry, send us a DM.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I'm sending Indy to fucking hang out with him in a couple months, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, and he'll go. I'll get
Fun.
the down low. We'll see what's up.
Yeah.
It's funny though, cause Henry Henry.
I think we should wrap this up.
What?
I
Come
think
on, we just
should.
getting started.
I'm tired, dude.
I know, me too. I'm actually
losing
getting my
it.
voice is getting sore.
I
You've been talking a lot, so like we gotta.
I
This,
know.
this is a sport we gotta train for. We have not been on mic like for these kind of hours on a regular
No,
basis.
it's true. Yeah. I mean, we generally like talk this much anyway when we're around. We like telling stories and shit, and
Yeah.
we banter a lot, which is
I
good.
think we're enjoying the headphones.
The headphones is really
Mhm.
fun, and talking into the mic.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Your voice is amazing.
Thanks. I think I
know.
have a good podcast voice.
I do. I think you do also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I found my new calling?
That's kind of what
Incredible.
that's what we're experimenting with, I believe.
That
isn't
is what we're experimenting
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
it? Exactly. We don't know our like target audience or subject or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
But we've determined one thing: we do like your voice.
We like my voice, and we also have a name for this podcast.
That's right.
So,
It's a good name too.
guys, thanks for listening.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Oh, those guys are the best.
And
thank you for providing me with all the stuff you've provided me with.
all of the amazing supplies
Amazing stuff.
and services.
I forgot, what was this episode about? What were we talking about? There was no
Doing
real start
something
to it.
stupid.
Doing something
Thank you for
stupid.
listening to
Once
Let's Do
again.
Something Stupid.
Thank you.
We're going to record another podcast tomorrow. I don't know when we're going to be releasing these or how soon we're going to be releasing these or anything, but have a great night.
Have a great night. Merry day that people celebrate.
Merry day that people celebrate.
I don't know.
Merry Christmas. It's still
Oh, yes.
Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is
Christmas
Christmas,
Eve.
Day. So we're
I still
going
think you
to
should open that giant present right now. But
I'll open the present on
Okay.
Christmas morning.
so thank you. This has been a
Thank-
lovely time.
Yes.
I know so much more about you now.
It's true. We're learning.
Yeah, we're learning.
Okay.
Those are life lessons though. This is not just you. Those are just that
True.
question was a good question about anybody's life in my opinion, about that moment when you decide to like
That's great.
decide
Yeah,
what
we'll
you
have
can
to do more of those questions maybe in the next episode.
I think so.
And then I'll think of some questions.
You probably
too.
should.
They're not gonna be as good as yours, but
Well, I'll think of some more questions.
okay, great.
Nice.
All right, signing off.
Wait. Boom. We out.